Yeah, hello my homies, OneSmartCat doing a game of Spellslinger, and today I'm gonna do a deck that I just built for Miss Yanling here. Now, when Yanling first came into the game, a lot of people were excited for her because she was a new blue planeswalker, Spellslinger, whatever, that a lot of people thought was gonna change the game a bit. But honestly, overall, she's been pretty underwhelming, and I wanted to try to come up with a way to make her a little bit more viable. She's probably still not viable at all whenever it comes to like the higher ranks, where this game's been solved. Like there is an established meta, and Yanling does not fit into it. But with this deck, I at least have been having fun with her. So starting off, we have Mana Constrictor. This is just to give us 2/2 on the field early. That will hopefully slow down the opponents if we get the Mana Constructor early on. Guard the Flock is a great way to try to keep like a specific creature alive, because if you have something out that your opponent wants to kill and they use any sort of spell to target that specific creature, Guard the Flock will counter it. And we do have that creature, which is going to be our Cerulean Dragon. Overall, the deck draws a lot of cards, and if we get the Cerulean Dragon out relatively early, we can get this thing very, very big, very, very quickly. So we have a couple of different ways of protecting this thing once we get it out. Little Foggie is here just because he has Sneak and Ward, and he's going to help us towards her mechanic. Her mechanic, if you don't know, is anytime that you have two different creatures that are able to damage your opponent, you get to draw a card. Bubble Shield is going towards the fact of protecting our Cerulean Dragon. Negate is a great thing to have whenever you have 2 extra mana. You just play this thing, and anytime that they try to do a spell, trap, artifact, anything, the negate will get rid of it. So it's a great all-around spell. The clever guy here will help us draw some more cards. Now I have Gutfire in here, and the reason that I have Gutfire in here is because with her mechanic of 2 different creatures doing damage, being able to draw a card, if they block the Gutfire, he still does at least 1 point of damage to the opponent, so that still counts as a creature doing damage. So if we can get some Gutfires going, no matter what, we'll be able to draw a card every single turn, whether they block or don't block the Gutfire. The Sparrow is a good creature just to have out there that gives us whenever we put one of them down, we get 2 of them, so it's just helpful to have a couple extra flyers out. Cerulean Dragon, like I said, is one of our lynch pins of this deck. This is the guy that we're going to try to get out, and this is the guy that we're going to try to buff, and he's also the guy that we're going to try to save with like our wards and all our other stuff. Eternal Phoenix is another flyer that I've been interested in using. Anytime that you draw it, it gets an upgrade for the rest of the game, and anytime that it's in the graveyard at the end of your turn, it goes back into your deck. So it just keeps recycling. Blitzing Minotaur, since I'm splashed with red, he's just a good card. He's a 3/4/3 that comes out with haste. So that way we're able to attack from the sky and we're able to attack from the ground. Caged Construct is another high stat card. He's a 5/4 and he's only 4 to put out. So he's also another good guy to have to attack for the ground. And whenever he dies, everybody gets to draw 2 cards. That helps us with our card draw. Dungeon Geist is another flyer. We do have a lot of flyers in this deck, but whenever this guy comes out, we're able to stun one of the other opponents that will stay stunned as long as this guy's alive. And we can keep this guy alive with the Bubble Shield and with the Guard the Flock in case we don't have our Cerulean Dragon out. So he's just a way to, lock down one of our opponent's big guys. Invisibility Cloak has 2 purposes. It gives us sneak and it gives us ward, so that will be able to protect our Cerulean with the ward. And if our Cerulean gets high enough, gets strong enough, the sneak could just be a game ender, because we could just sneak right through and do direct damage. The big Sphinx here is just another way to draw cards. Every time he's able to attack and do damage, we get to draw a card, and the card that we draw only costs 1 mana, so that's just an extra boost. And then Moon Knight Cavalry, the reason I have him here is 2 reasons. He's also a flyer, so it just fits along with all the other flyers that we have. And if we are able to get a bunch of Gutfires dead, this guy will help us draw all of our Gutfires all at once, which can be a huge game changer depending on what the situation of the game is. So that's the entirety of the deck. I did name it Draw to Win because that's kind of what we're going for. The deck list will be in the description, and let's try to get some good games.
Yanling versus Vivian.
All right, going against Vivian. This should be a decent match. Vivian's not too crazy, but green is like so good in this game right now, just in general. Not a bad start with these two. Why isn't this card getting bigger? Let's go ahead and switch this one out, see if we can get another low cost card, a lower cost card, or a higher cost card. That's fine.
Tempest. I heard this stadium needs wrecking.
So we don't have a first play, but we can get Clever out, and then we get the Cerulean Dragon out. We'll have a nice little engine to make the Cerulean bigger. For as long as we could keep Clever alive at least. Alright, so he has a flying set up. Let's go ahead and do our Clever. We do have our Gutfire. The card that we got from her refreshment stand is Change Teams, which is not a bad card to get, honestly.
Call me Dragon's Bane.
So we get our Cerulean out. Yeah, I think that's the play. We'll get the Cerulean, swing. That'll get us up to 2-3. Might make him weary. Okay. So the fact that he didn't block that, ooh, the fact that that made that bigger kind of sucks. I mean, honestly, we could take a couple hits from this. We might just take a couple hits from it and then take it. It puts it in our deck though. It doesn't put it in our hand or put it on our field, which kind of sucks. Let's go ahead and take the first hit. Who did that laugh? That was scary. Was that her?
Strength in numbers.
We'll go right through them.
We're getting this up relatively big.
Face me.
Yeah, he's seeing that he has to kill that thing. I mean, that makes it so that we can trade with this now if he decides to swing with that.
Hold nothing back.
Depending on what he puts out with sneak.
They are under my protection now.
I mean, I think this is a pretty big deal. But we'll win the trade right now, though, if we attack.
We'll go right through them. Face me, coward! No worthy death.
That was a strange block. I don't know why he didn't block my Cerulean.
I know just what I need.
That was a weird block. Let's do guard the flock in case he tries to kill our Cerulean somehow. I wanted to get a Gutfire out, but making sure this stays alive is kind of more important.
Pick your poison.
And he's definitely getting something to kill my Cerulean. But we have guard the flock. No, thank you. That's why we have the guard and flock.
Amazing.
And to make sure that this stays alive, let's go ahead and ward it. And we get the sneak for it too, so we're about to hit him for 7. And that lets it stay warded, so we'll be able to be safe for another turn. The fact that this thing is giving all of his stuff ward whenever they come out is kind of annoying.
Tear it all down.
We could change teams it, get it off the field. I think we're probably going to do that.
Platform is online.
Yeah, let's change team that thing. Okay, we don't have to. That Cerulean can get really big and really scary.
The sky's the limit.
It still had stealth for some reason, didn't it? I don't know why it still had stealth. All right, let's jump into another game.
Yanling versus Ashiok.
All right, going against Mr. Ashiok. It looks like he is a lower tier than we are.
We go.
But I mean, that's kind of whatever. A lot of people have been coming back and forth from playing. And honestly, I've been jumping around with who I've been playing. I'm in gold right now, but I've been playing platinums and diamonds, so. That's just because the player base isn't as big as it used to be. So the matchmaking is kind of all over the place. I should make a run for platinum before. I mean, we get our Cerulean out really early. Let's go ahead and get the Cerulean out. Before the end of the month, I'll make a run for platinum. That way I'm just not, I don't get like super low in the rankings. I mean, this is the lowest I've been in the rankings in a really long time. I mean, since the start of the game, honestly.
We'll go right through.
And that just comes from the fact that I haven't really been playing that much. I have been enjoying playing the game recently, though, just because I took that little break.
I know just what I need.
I just wish they added more stuff to the game. That's all. We're getting a good start on our Cerulean. I would like to protect it somehow, because he looks like he's black splashed with blue, so he has a lot of ways of destroying this. And honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and do this to put a ward on it, just because I want my Cerulean to stay alive. Losing a Gutfire isn't that big of a deal, honestly. Because now that Gutfire is in the graveyard, so it goes towards his damage, which is pretty good.
One must perfect one's craft. Ah, new toys.
All right, let's see. What can we do? What can we do? I mean, we could establish our field pretty well. He doesn't have ward anymore. I really want to keep this alive. Let's put the bubble on it. And then let's put down the Gutfire. And we'll just swing with this because it's a flyer. We'll probably be able, as long as we keep this alive, we'll probably just be able to win the game with this.
Potential.
Like, I don't even care how many nightmares he has. Well, we got 6 nightmares. He doesn't have any flyers or anything, so this thing should win us the game as long as it stays alive. He's doing things. We'll get another card draw here. Because, like, the reason the Gutfires are here, because even if they block this, it's still going to do damage to him. I mean, honestly, it's actually going to do 2 damage to him. Yeah, I mean, it's game over, actually. This is game over.
It's not over. One must perfect one's craft.
There you go.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, building around Cerulean is definitely the way to go with her, honestly. I do like the Gutfires too. I've tried to make a Gutfire deck for her a couple of times, and I mean, it's worked. But the whole thing with Gutfire decks is the fact that you need a way to get rid of your own Gutfires, because a lot of people just won't kill Gutfires. They'll just let them attack. And if that happens, then basically all you do is you just have a 2/1 creature that can't block. Like, that's all you have. So it's a little bit iffy making a Gutfire deck with her. I'll try to make another one to see if I can figure out a better way to do it. But right now, Cerulean is probably the best thing for her. So yeah, there's a nice little deck for you whenever it comes to Miss Yanling. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos, and wee.